If you've been on this channel a lot, you know that I really like guns. Take a look at my Plisken's picks, on my virtuality versus reality. I'm constantly talking about guns, how they work in real life in comparison to video games. Today, I'd like to take a more relaxed stance on that. Today, I'm Plisken, and I want to give some love to the series and franchises that have featured pistols, an often completely disregarded weapon type that's usually relegated to just that weak thing you start with, but then replace as soon as you can. I don't want to talk about that today. Today I want to talk about those games that manage to elevate pistols to a more realistic and deserving status. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now I want you guys to keep in mind that if I was ranking the best pistols in gaming, something I might be doing in the future, this pistol would be much closer to the top. However, in our list-like format, the Halo 1 M6D pistol comes in at number 5. Now, it comes in at number 5 because we're talking about series as a whole that feature really good, elegant, strong pistols. And while Combat Evolved features one of the greatest pistols I've ever put my digital hands on, the future entries in the series don't keep up this trend. While there are some competent pistols in later entries, the M6D really stands out because it works more so like a DMR. This isn't so much a realistic interpretation of a pistol, however the idea of a sidearm being something you rely on throughout your journeys is portrayed very accurately here. That being said, this pistol can take down anti-aircraft, you can use it like a DMR, you can use it in full auto for close range. There's very little here that isn't to love. If Halo had continued this trend and featured such a powerful example of a pistol in every game henceforth, then it would be much higher on this list. But with that being said, the M6D pistol in Halo 1 earns Halo as a franchise the bottom spot on this list ranking. Taking the 4th spot on this list, we're going to feature the Fallout franchise. Now, in Fallout, you have the freedom to build your character however you'd like. As someone who likes to play the charismatic cowboy type, you can bet your ass that in New Vegas I had a lot of fun with the pistols on offer. What I love about New Vegas is that whether you like pistols, whether you like laser weapons, whether you like to just beat people with your bare hands, you can spec into a certain category or tree to make that a viable option. So, with some leveling up, the pistols in this game do end up having a semi-realistic portrayal. The reason why Fallout isn't higher on this list is because of some inaccuracies with weapon design and damage output, but I mean it's an RPG, right? Also, the reason it's not higher is that the pistols are completely an optional pathway. I want to give love to franchises that truly, not necessarily forces, but really shines a spotlight on pistols so that every player that picks up that game will experience them in some degree, some major degree. So for that reason, Fallout, and more specifically Fallout New Vegas, take the 4th spot on this list. Taking the 3rd spot will be the Last of Us franchise. Now you see, in the Last of Us franchise, using your pistols is almost mandatory. While you can pick up long-range rifles, shotguns, and stuff like that, ammo shortages will force you over to the pistols. Luckily, your selection is normally extremely versatile. So if you run out of ammo in your long-arm shotgun, you can switch to your sidearm shotgun, and same thing with a hunting revolver, so on and so forth. However, the reason why Last of Us is this high on the list is because when the pistols are not upgraded, you tend to get a really realistic depiction of what handling a sidearm can be like, in terms of the recoil, in terms of trying to be accurate, in terms of putting multiple shots on target without missing. Also, what I love about Last of Us is that even with its video gamey distribution of damage output, the pistols are always relatively competent. Let's take the weakest pistol, Joel's really compact 1911 and 9mm. That will normally take up to 3 rounds to take down one enemy. That's feasible. I mean, when you're shooting at someone, sometimes it's weird. One shot might take them down, or it might be 10 shots, and with 9mm, if you're firing at someone's body, it normally takes a couple shots to bring down a human-sized target. so the damage output is realistic, and the way that every single roll for a weapon that you'll need, shotgun, sniper, rapid fire pistol, just mid-range god tier weapon like the revolver, they're all here. You can use your rifles or your long arms better yet, however your sidearms are just as competent. And with that realistic portrayal, that's what earns Last of Us as a franchise the number 3 spot on this list today. Now if you know me at all, you know that I'm not going to make this list without mentioning Metal Gear. Taking the number 2 spot, Metal Gear is this high just because of how prolific the emphasis on realistic pistols are throughout the entirety of the franchise. Starting in the series' earliest roots with the MSX games, the Beretta is the first weapon you get, and is the one you rely on for the majority of the game. Going into the other games, you have the classic Metal Gear Solid 1 SOCOM. This is your one and only suppressible weapon, so as you go out throughout the game, this is the pistol, or this is the weapon, even though you have a full auto FAMAS, a sniper rifle, a rocket launcher, the majority of the time, you're going to be relying on that SOCOM pistol. Metal Gear Solid 2 expanded your options with a Trank Gun M9, and the return of the SOCOM, and another USP variant in 9mm. Each of these 3 guns are portrayed extremely realistically, with this modified M9 having to be cocked because the rounds you're firing don't have enough pressure to cycle the weapon, the way you have to rely on a laser sight because the suppressor covers the sights, the way with the SOCOM USP it doesn't take an entire mag to kill a guy because guess what, the 45 ACP round chews through people. It's known for its stopping power with human-sized targets. It's an extremely realistic portrayal of these weapons in video games. And during the PS2 era of Metal Gear, this bread and butter combo, as I've called it in older videos, of your really stealth-driven M9 and then your combat-driven other pistol, you could go through entire sections of the game, combat or stealth, solely relying on your pistols. This is continued in Snake Eater with the MK22 Hush Puppy, a modified Smith & Wesson pistol from like way back when. Similar to the M9, fulfills that role except the suppressor degradates now, and then you have the 1911, which doesn't hold a candle to the SOCOM, and the damage portrayal isn't as realistic. However, the fact that the emphasis is still throughout on the entire series goes to show why Metal Gear Solid deserves the number 2 spot. In fact, I was thinking of giving it the number 1 spot, but while I was talking with some of my viewers, someone brought up a game series that made me have to bite down on my pride, made me have to acknowledge that there was another game that gives more love to pistols than Metal Gear. If Metal Gear got this high for making handguns your bread and butter throughout gameplay, Resident Evil gets even higher in first place just because it's not your bread and butter here. It's water while you're stranded in the middle of a desert. Your survival in every single Resident Evil game will be entirely dependent for a large chunk of the game on how you use your pistol, how you manage your ammunition, how you control your shots. Being accurate, taking your time, and taking care of your sidearm is key in the Resident Evil series, and I can't think of a more realistic or better way to sum up the role of a pistol. It's your sidearm, your trusted companion through hell and high water. You take care of it, it takes care of you. You need to watch your shots because the recoil, if you continuously fire, will keep you off target, and when you're in a zombie apocalypse or some crazy cult town, you're gonna need every single shot you can get. And it's because of this that Resident Evil just takes the cake when it comes to giving love to pistols as a franchise. Your Samurai Edge Stars issued Beretta might not be the best weapon for the situation. You might find a shotgun that works better against some enemies, or explosives that really get you throughout boss fights. However, your trusty little 9mm is gonna be there with you from start to finish. It's going to be taking care of you. It's going to be the one you can always rely on. And again, I'm going to start sounding redundant, so I'm going to wrap this up now. But that's what sidearms are about. It's never going to be the best choice for a lot of the situations you'll come across. However, always having it on your side gives you that edge you need in situations where all the odds are against you. But now, what do you guys think? Is there a game series that deserved to be higher on the list here? Is there something I completely missed out on? let me know. I'm mostly like deriving this from like interaction with viewers and my own personal opinions with my own personal experiences and knowledge using sidearms, and then using that to like rate how they would stack up in this list and be like, okay, what's the series that gives them the most amount of love and portrays them in a realistic role? Do you think I messed up somewhere? Do you think something else needs to be here? Let me know down in the comments below. I might make that greatest pistols in all of gaming list if you guys want it, or I might just make it like from a while from now. Sorry I haven't been posting that much. It was the holiday season and I really didn't get around to having time on my own to work on these videos. However, after New Year's, I feel like I'll be able to work on videos more and start posting stuff. So if you have any ideas for what you want to see based on the kind of stuff I've made in the past, go ahead and let me know. Anyways, this has been Pliskin with the top 5 gaming franchises that give love to pistols. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. Anyways, this has been Pliskin, over and out.